Let's talk about smart elevators on cruise ships. I just got off MSC Seascape and they have smart elevators. And I want to talk about some of the dumb things I saw some of you doing with the smart elevators. Let's get into it. Now, before I go any further, let me explain what a smart elevator is, because I'm sure some of you probably don't know. And a smart elevator is essentially an elevator system where there is a little kiosk right outside of the elevator banks where you go over, you press the floor that you want to go to, and you are assigned an elevator. There are no buttons on the inside of the elevator other than to open or close the doors. You have to select the floor that you want to go to before you even get on. And then you go to the elevator you're assigned to, and then you just ride, and it will eventually come to the floor you're selected. The purpose of this is to make everything more efficient and to get you where you want to go more quickly. But a lot of people hate the smart elevators. They prefer the old system where their children can just go in and hit all the buttons at once because they're being cute. Yeah, no, I've never found that cute. But a lot of people feel that the new smart elevators actually make things more slow, and they just like the older system. And to be honest with you, the MSC Seascape is the very first time I have been on a cruise where there were smart elevators. I am very familiar with the old system, and now having just experienced the new system, here are my thoughts. I like them. And hear me out. I liked that I could get an estimate of how long it would be before my elevator would arrive. Obviously, there were times when it was longer than they had estimated, but that was because people like to hold the door open. And some of you hold that door open for a really long amount of time, and it drives me nuts. Not to help somebody who's disabled or to give more time to somebody who's elderly who needs a little more time, but some of y'all like to start talking in the hallway and just keep that elevator open. You know who you are, and I hate you for it. Obviously, sometimes the estimate is off, but it was never off more than a minute for me. And the longest I had to wait for an elevator, true story, even at peak times, was 4 to 5 minutes. Guys, I have actually waited, and I'm not exaggerating, 7 or 8 minutes before on non-smart elevators. I have definitely waited that long before. And before one of you gets really judgy and says it's because of my weight, I actually have scar tissue in one of my legs, and it acts up from time to time and swells very badly and makes it really impossible for me to go up and down multiple flights of stairs. Because for whatever reason, people like to get on cruise ships and decide who can do what and what people should be doing. Again, you know who you are, and you also make me sick. I just saw a lot of people getting very frustrated that they had to wait more than a minute or a minute and a half for elevators. And I'm sorry, but when you're on a cruise ship with thousands of other people, sometimes you're going to have to wait. I am constantly telling you guys that you need to pack your patience when you go on a cruise. You're not the only person taking a vacation. Everybody else is too. Anyway, I very much so like the smart elevators, but I realize they're not for everybody. But after having experienced them on MSC Seascape, I kind of wish they were on all cruise ships.